Hello, and welcome to Famicast 181, your Famicast for the early part of September 2020. I'm your host, Danny Bivens, and today I'm joined by James Charlton.
久しぶりだね.
Yes.
It's been
How you
a
doing,
while.
man? How you doing?
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Like, maybe did we mention it in the last episode that we're going to take like maybe 3 weeks off? I don't think we did. But
Yeah,
we did.
let
our summer break. How's that?
Yeah, and like actually, it's going to happen again this month because we have like more Wednesdays than basically we have 5 Wednesdays. We're just going to do two episodes a month, so that's just the way it kind of worked out. But also joining us too is Ty Sugar himself.
Who? Never heard of him.
Never.
Don't know who he is. Yeah. So, what's up, Ty? How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Been playing a lot of UFO Catcher. I'm working on constructing my previous fucking crate pile into like a grim shrine of video game and anime bullshit. So keep your eye on the background in the coming episodes. Who knows what weird shit you'll see.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So pretty much par for the course then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make a little game out of it, eh?
Oh, talking of which, Danny, I totally forgot to mention this before the show. I apologize. But I'll be giving away a game code in this episode.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I'll be breaking it up into segments, so it's not all like given away in one go. You have to listen to the whole episode.
One digit at a time.
No.
Get your decoder ring ready.
Yes.
Stay tuned. And if you're listening on the audio show, I'll you know what? I'm going to give Danny an audio segment to put in the audio version, so, both people can have a chance. If you're watching the video or the audio version, it's still got a chance. 2 codes. It's crazy.
Cool.
So if someone's watching this live, they can't tab out. They have to be fixated.
That's right.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Don't worry, I'll try to throw in a little scream when something happens.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Cool. Well, lots of stuff to get at this episode. We're going to keep new business a little bit short because there's so much news. And let's just go ahead and just kind of dive right in. And James.
Yeah.
Would you mind kicking things off?
Well, yeah, like Danny kind of hinted at the beginning that the Famicast curse was kind of reversed because we didn't miss any Nintendo Directs. In fact, they all happened between episodes. I think maybe three or four, 3 Directs and a game announcement or something like that, right? Anyway, a lot of shit happened between episodes, so we didn't miss anything, which is nice.
Yeah.
So the one that was it the one that started? No, it wasn't the first one, but maybe the second one, right? The what was that called? That Direct, I forgot.
Not the indies.
Was it the indie showcase?
We covered that on the last episode. That happened like pretty close.
Okay, yeah. So there's so many. I don't even.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy, right? So yeah, the one that we talked about in the last episode where there was one called A Short Hike. Yeah. It's coming back to me now. Yeah, because I mentioned, oh, that looks cool. I might get it.
Yeah,
I got it. I bought it pretty much straight afterwards. I checked the Japanese eShop and it wasn't available. In fact, pretty much most of the ones that were in that Direct weren't available. But maybe we're going to talk about that later in news. But
well, just real short here. I mean, what happened? Like, because that was really focused, obviously, towards Western markets, and sometimes it just takes a while for localization and stuff like that to happen for Japan. But just actually a couple of days later, they announced Short Hike coming to Japan later this month in September. And also I picked it up too. So James is going to talk about the game. I'm going to kind of maybe talk a little bit about it too. But yeah,
I think it's been out on Steam for like a while or whatever, right? People know it. I think it's been updated since the Steam version. There were some tricks that don't work. Like there were some parts where you could pretty much skip right up the mountain in 2 hops and you're done kind of thing. So in case you don't know, this is the game that looks like the handheld Zelda games on the DS.
You could also say PlayStation as well.
Yeah, I haven't played Zelda on PlayStation, but I'll take your word for it.
I'm just saying, it looks like it could be a PlayStation game.
Sure, right. So it's like, I would say it's a mixture of Animal Crossing and Breath of the Wild, but with like a very cutesy, simplified aesthetic. It's like very simple, but you can do anything you want, there's no combat, so you're not dying here. You're just exploring and finding golden feathers. You're a little bird dude, and the whole aim is to collect golden feathers, which give you an extra flap in your jump. I don't know how many it goes to. I think I'm on like 12, something like that. So the more you get, the more you can kind of access this mountain. And the aim is just to get to the top of your mountain because your mobile phone doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's a pretty silly reason, but it's fun. And if you jump off anywhere, you can actually just hold down the jump button and glide.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you actually go downwards that much. You can glide for quite a while.
Yeah.
It's very gradual.
Yeah, like you said, if you are going down, it is definitely very gradual.
Super gradual, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can be in the air for ages if you want to be. But you find out various things just by talking to NPCs. Like they'll give you hints about the game, or like places to look or whatever, or objects to swap with. I guess there's maybe that Link's Awakening thing where you're kind of swapping items for other items, or like helping people out to get an item, that kind of thing. It's kind of a little bit of that. It's not all in one chain. It's like separated, It's like one dude will give you some, a spade or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty fun, actually. It's nice just bumping into other hikers hiking up this mountain, and they're just like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? And you just kind of have like a very, friendly chat with these people, and just shooting the shit. And it's quite well written, actually. I would say it's quite naturally written, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's done by one guy or a couple of guys. It's not a big team, right? So it's pretty cool. But they've kept the focus. It's just one mountain. It's not huge. It's not tiny, but it's not massive. It's not. Well, I mentioned Breath of the Wild. It's not like that. No, it's not going to take you 4 actual days to get across it. Mm-hmm. And they've got like snowy bits and bits with autumn leaves on and stuff like that. And it's just very, very pleasant. What more can I say? I mean, it's super cheap. Like I think I got it for I got it in the European one, so it was like £6. I think it's like $7.
Yeah.
And Danny, do you know offhand what the Japanese one? I guess 700 yen or something, 800 yen. So.
Actually, yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, even though I saw the release, I don't know if they actually have a page up yet. I just know I think they do. I just didn't pay attention.
Okay. Well, but I would assume it's around that. And they had like a few cents off for the launch as well, which was pretty nice. So I got it for the 10% off. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And I streamed. I put some just plain gameplay up on the channel, and then I streamed as part of some of the streams. I'll talk about more that later. I streamed like maybe an hour or so of that, and I kind of give my full impressions of the game, and I talk about various aspects of the game as I'm doing it, so it makes a lot more sense. So if you want like more in-depth impressions, I would say just watch that video. You can get a good overall view of the game. But it's not a very long game, right? I heard you can spend up to maybe 3-4 hours if you want to get everything.
Yeah.
But if you speed run it, well, the speed run that I watched was using the Steam version, which still had the bugs in, and you can do it in 1 minute, 25 seconds.
Jeez.
But that was, just like, skipping everything. And the glitch is like, which is not in the Switch version, like I said, is if you stand on top of a treasure box, you open the treasure box, then you stand on top of it immediately, and then the animation flicks you up, and it shoots the guy really high into the sky. Yeah, that doesn't work in the Switch version, but yeah. So yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah,
James, I watched some of your gameplay video, and the way you played it was like a little bit different than the way I played it, because in the game
you're shooting people,
and all that. Yeah, chainsaws, whatever. No, but for traversal and stuff, there's a lot of paths and stuff like that you can take. You could obviously fly to some extent. The more feathers you have, the more flaps that you get. But at the same time, and you mentioned this on your video too, but you have the ability to climb as well.
Right. Yeah, I always forget that.
Yeah, and like for me, I always kind of forgot about the flap because I would be climbing everything. And like,
You're literally Breath of the Wilding it.
yeah. And
Link style, yeah.
it seems like, I mean, watching your gameplay and then obviously, playing it myself, it seems like either way, it doesn't really matter. There's really no, at least from what I've seen, there's no like benefit either way. It's just kind of just however you want to do it.
I think it's quite well balanced, isn't it? Like if you do one flap or 2 seconds of climbing, I think it uses the same amount of feathers. So
and it's like the same distance too. So yeah,
it's probably the same distance. I think it is balanced exactly like that, to be honest. Yeah. The boat. The
boat. But yeah, man, like I took my time with this. I think my final clear time to get to the top was like 3 hours, 45 minutes or something. Because I was just going around, looking for feathers. Watching your gameplay, I found one that I just completely missed. And I was like, oh my God, how the hell did I miss that? Stuff like that. So stuff's all over the place. And, like James said, there's a lot of cool characters to interact with. It's very natural sounding. And then the more you talk to characters too, kind of like the more you get to know about them and stuff, even people that might seem like they're assholes or something, you might find out there's a reason for that or something, so it kind of behooves you
past.
Yes. No, it really behooves you to, talk to the different characters as much as possible to see what they say and like maybe what you can or can't do for them or something.
Yeah. It's very, very pleasant. I mean, it's as chill as an Animal Crossing game, I would say, but with a little bit more action, a little bit more, a lot more exploring, because Animal Crossing, you don't really
with the goal.
With the goal. There you go. Hey, slamming Animal Crossing fans. Love it.
Well, hey, I think I mentioned on an Animal Crossing thing I did on our YouTube, like originally that was the goal with Animal Crossing. They wanted to make it more like kind of the same vein, but have like goals. And then they took the goal part out really and just kind of left it as is. What, that's fine. But
cool. So there's one. Are you good, Danny?
Yeah.
So there's one other game I just wanted to talk about, and that is I think the game I did on day 2 of some of the streams, which is a racing game called Inertial Drift. I always spell that wrong, and because I think in my mind I've got Initial D in my head.
Yes.
So it's like Initial Drift, but it's not. It's Inertial Drift. But when you see it, if you're watching the video version, you can see why I would go for Initial D. Inertial Drift. It's it's like a retro throwback kind of racing game, I would say. It's kind of neon colors. Are you okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's like neon colors and like if you hit the brake, then the brake lights kind of glow up, and then they'll do that kind of line streak across the screen, very anime style. But the unique thing about this is that of course the left stick is drive, turn, but the right stick is drift, and you're drifting with the sticks, right? And accelerate is on the right bumper, and brake is on the left bumper. But like when you're going around the corners, if you just use the left stick to turn, you will do literally nothing. It's like you'll barely even move. You'll just slam straight into the walls, right? You have to drift. There is no option. So it's quite different from most racing games where drifting is a good idea. It might help you go a little bit faster around the corners. Or you can, do it another way if you want. No, with this game, drift or die, and pretty much, that'd be a good alternate game for it. Alternate name for it, drift or die. Once you get your head around that, it's quite fun. But there are times where you just like, this car will not go around this fucking corner, like no matter how much I drift, and then you've got other options where if you release the accelerator and drift, then you'll do even tighter drift.
Gotcha.
And if you hit the brake and then the right stick going around the corner, you'll slow down and be able to do really super tight, like almost like L-shaped corners, those kind of things.
Kind of like a handbrake, kind of like a handbrakey type of thing or something.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of have to get your head around like, okay, how tight is this curve? Like if it's like medium to semi-medium curve, you can just use the right stick. But if it's like quite tight, you probably have to release the accelerator and use the right stick. But you're also pushing right with the left stick as well. So it does feel like you're kind of like patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time, because you're like using both sticks and releasing or pressing various triggers. So it takes a bit while to get used to. And it's James Allen in the chat says, how does it compare to Asphalt? I mean, Asphalt 9, which I'm also a fan of, Asphalt 9 Legends, which is a free-to-play game, that plays a lot easier. It's like, you can just, you can barely even, you just release the accelerator and you'll burn around the corner. So you don't even have to release the accelerator most of the time. You've even got like super moves, like, you can spin your car around like F-Zero style.
Gotcha.
It's completely silly. Asphalt is very, very silly, and that's why I love it, because it's like super arcadey. And inertial drift is also arcadey, of course, but it's just a lot more technical. It's like, I don't know, is that a thing? A technical arcade game? It's very technical.
Yes, it can be now.
Yeah. It's not a casual. It's not like, put a coin in the arcade and bomb around corners like Daytona or something like that.
Yeah.
You're going to be putting a lot of quarters in if this is an arcade game, because you have to perfect it. And it does have a story mode, which I have a bit of this. And if you want to, I've got some footage on the site if you want to. I did it as part of summer stream, so you can see it with some chitty chatty stuff over it. But yeah, the story kind of looks like this, 2D anime, Western anime characters chatting with each other. And you kind of do various missions, try and beat rivals on the course, and then you can unlock other cars. The other cars are basically other races. So you're kind of unlocking races, which unlocks their car. Like here, these almost like 1080. It's like dude standing next to his car. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's quite a lot of stuff to unlock. A lot of cars to unlock, a lot of characters to unlock. There's a lot of story. The way the story is structured, like, you have to do like a practice lap, and then you have to race a rival, and then you have to beat a certain time, and then you have to do something else, and you're racing the same track like 4 times back to back.
Okay.
So it's like stage 1 or whatever it is. The first mission set is the same track 4 times.
Okay.
And then you beat each one of those 4. Like when you check each one of those 4 off, then you'll go into stage 2, and then you'll race a different rival and in a different car and a different track, but again you'll do it 4 times. So you're playing this track 4 times. So you're just like doing a track 4 times every single time. So yeah, I could see that getting a little bit tedious, but maybe it's a good way of learning the tracks. After each round, you've pretty much perfected that track, right? But for me, it was kind of like after maybe 2 times, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm good. Let's just move on to the next one now. I want to see what the next stage is, but you can't until you've beaten all of it. So
James Allen kind of has a comment, maybe almost kind of like a question too. He said it doesn't look as good graphically compared to Asphalt 9 either. Would you say that's the case?
Yeah, Asphalt 9 is a good looking game, and because they've got real cars, like real licensed cars, which is kind of amazing for a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
And the background's really well rendered. This is very dark. This I think this all takes place at nighttime. Now think about it.
So every screen I've seen has been at nighttime.
This is a nighttime game.
Okay.
Yeah, every single track is at nighttime. I never really noticed that until now. So it's definitely going for that Neo Tokyo, Tokyo drift, sliding around corners, that kind of thing. But it's like that cell shaded racing game on GameCube. Is it?
Auto Modelista.
Yeah, Auto Modelista. Right. It's like that, and I would say graphically it might even be kind of like on par with that. It's not super detailed. It's just going for speed. It's going for like 60 frames a second, super smooth, no no drop in frame rate whatsoever, but the frame rate is the graphical quality isn't that good.
Okay.
Which makes Asphalt then amazing, because Asphalt is also pretty slick and it looks good. And they've got really detailed, actual real cars. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, because some racing games they kind of trick you a little bit. The cars look good, but like the backgrounds and stuff like that, they'll be a little bit more low resolution, and that makes sense because you're typically playing at such a high speed. So
yep, and it's got a 2-player split screen mode as well, which I think you can see me playing by myself just to give it a test. But yeah, it is what you see on the screen. That's pretty much how it looks. I mean, it doesn't look that much better on the Switch. But if you like that kind of simple cel shaded neon look to it, I mean, you don't really give a shit. It's fine. It is what it is. Yep. But yeah, there you go. That's Inertial Drift. Those are the first two games I played at Summer Streams. I wanted to start with some actual good games before I delved into the garbage. Sure. So that's why I started with those two.
Cool. All right. Well, like I said, I'm gonna kind of skip out on new business today because, like I said, I played some of the short hike, and also NBA 2K21. Which, if you want to hear more about that, check out our videos and stuff like that we have up on the YouTube channel. But for now, we're going to go ahead and move on to Ty.
Hell yeah.
What you been playing, Comrade Cat Drugs?
Oh boy, some stuff. One quick thing, I just want to get out of the way real quick. My buddy Matsugen is doing some regular KI tournaments online, and he's streaming them on YouTube. And I've won like 2 of the 3 so far, so it's pretty awesome.
Cool.
You can check those out on YouTube. So do that and catch me at the next one.
Nice.
We need to get you a Famicast like jumpsuit, just advertising all over it.
Right? Give me the psychological edge of pretending I'm sponsored.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's great. Yeah. The last match of the last one, I was in the zone. It was so good. Let's see what else. I played the new hot meme game Among Us. Okay.
I didn't know what you were talking about. Okay, please enlighten me.
Okay, so it's kind of like it's kind of like a mafia kind of game, except it's like also like kind of a real-time action thing. Okay, you have these cute little bean guys, not much unlike Fall Guys. And you have to fucking repair the spaceship. Well, one asshole runs around sabotaging it and murdering people. Like, ideally for them, out of sight. Okay. So if you find a dead body or you call a meeting, you all get on voice chat and start hurling wild accusations at each other. So
okay.
So if you're the saboteur, I forget what they call it. The bad guy, you have to lie real good, and it is so funny. There's a lot of great YouTubes about it, and I believe it's free on mobile, and it's like $5 for the fancy Steam version without any ads or anything. It's like minimum 4 players, maximum 10 players, and I think we should try this out sometime. It's a lot of fun. I ended up playing it for like 8 hours straight with some other guys. Yeah, it's so fun. And there are some hilarious YouTube videos about it. So check that out.
You can play it for free on my smartphone.
It's free on Android. I don't know about Apple Store. Who cares?
What's this game called again?
Among Us.
Among Us.
It's probably like the #1 game on Twitch right now, out of nowhere.
Okay. Chris has a question. Does Ty have his own Cat Drugs merch now?
Oh, we actually sold these through the actual family catnip business. They might be available online somewhere. If so, I'll link it up. But I've also been asked by some video gamer types like, "Yo, you got these for sale?" And I'm like, I could put up a Teespring or something. Yeah, I've been actually looking at Teespring alternatives lately because of whiny political reasons.
Okay.
But I'll get back to you about that. But I do have the original Among Us. Yeah, that's it. That's the little bean guy game.
Okay.
Yep, it's free on iOS as well.
Nice. Yeah, and it's crossplay as well. Like I was playing like Steam versus some mobile people.
Okay.
But it's recommended to play it like when you have a Discord available for voice chat. Because it was originally designed as like being like local multiplayer only. Like same room, everyone on their own smartphone, because there's a lot of hidden information, obviously.
Sure.
But it works great with Discord.
James Allen here too.
Nice.
Ty should wear the Famicast t-shirt, hat, and face mask during the tournament while drinking from the mug. Available now.
Right.
For the KI stuff. Yeah, be great.
I think Chris has all of those things.
I think he does too.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's pretty good. I think I have at least one Famicast shirt around here.
Nice.
All right.
Just as a side note, I do like it whenever YouTube does like the automatic captions. Anytime any of us say Famicast, it always comes up as Family Cast. It really does.
Family Cast.
Like.
Sorry, Ty. Go on, man.
That's great. Let's see. Quick note. Dead by Daylight on Windows still like expires my funds after a couple days. Yeah.
Man, it's been like over a month and they still haven't fixed that shit.
Right, like my ticket is perpetually open, and the new characters just came out, so that's the thing. There's one more thing I want to talk about. Oh yes, I would like to tell you about UFO catcher websites.
Website?
Okay, so yeah, you can play UFO catchers streaming online. It's been a thing for a while.
Okay.
And it just popped into my head a couple weeks ago. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try UFO catchers online. I got a little birthday money. I treat myself to some fun and games.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, and like as far as I know, there's two big ones. There's Toreba, which is the big one, and there's also like the Sega Catcher, which is the official Sega one. And they have substantial differences, I think. But you can hop on and get some free plays just for signing up. And if you have a gambling addiction, absolutely do not do this. Walk away now.
All right, I should just let me leave the room, guys. I really got to get out of here.
Yeah, like I don't like I can spend a little extra sometimes, but like not enough to bankrupt me. But sometimes I get on a hot streak and I just get a whole bunch of trash.
He says, surrounded by trash.
Yeah, it's great. So what I've been doing is like Oreba will give you like 2 free plays per day, sometimes more, like depending if there's like promotions and stuff going on. So I've been just trying to like steal prizes with my daily free plays. Like a Toreba has a big tendency for people to like wait until somebody's making progress and then they all line up on the machine.
Okay.
And to like try to snipe it as soon as the first person gives up.
Gotcha.
And I've gotten
just like real life stuff then probably.
Yeah, exactly. And I've gotten a few prizes that way. But there's some caveats on Toreba. Like some prizes on Toreba you can't play with your free plays and you can't get free shipping unless you won like a quote real prize. So watch out for that.
Okay.
Yeah, but both sites offer free shipping, which is nice.
Okay.
Possibly not to the U.S. right now, since the global pandemic and the current ongoing collapse of the United States government.
So, Ty, you're playing actual crane games,
yes.
UFO games?
Yes.
Like using the connected to the internet, obviously?
Yes. They do it with a video live stream. There's 2 camera angles on each machine. You have like your front and your side view. And
are they using rollback netcode? Is this? Can you actually play these games properly?
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. It's very responsive.
Good netcode, right? Cool.
Yeah, I think both sites are in Japan actually. So that's a thing. But people have been playing them from the US as well.
Okay.
Let's see. So Sega Catcher, you don't get like 2 free plays every day. You get like a fifth of a free play every login, like once a
Great.
day.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of. But they have like the chance ones where you play like the takoyaki style. If you know what I'm talking about, where you try to drop a ball into the center receptacle. So
Okay.
it's not a machine where you try to inch stuff towards the edge. You can actually just get it in one if you're like really lucky.
Mhm.
So I've gotten a couple of prizes off of that one, especially since they have like some easy ones of that to try to clear out their older stuff. So I've sniped some stuff out of there with my weekly-ish free play. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. And sometimes I do put in a little money, like if I know I can get something. So yeah, so far, yeah, I think I'm maybe ahead.
Okay.
Is this a new thing, Ty?
No, it's been around for at least a year or two, I think.
Cool.
So yeah,
Well,
check it
makes
out.
a lot more sense to do these kind of things over the internet than in real life during this current situation in the world.
James Allen, a fifth of the play once a day. What's that? Like one tiny movement of the claw, then that's it.
Right, like they have their like own like little point system. Like you get, unlike Sega Catcher, you get 1,000 like SP for like 1,000 yen or whatever.
Okay.
And then if you buy a lot, you can get like some extra free plays, which is nice. And like Toriba's kind of same thing. And like most games are going to be like 100 or 200. I think Toriba tends to be a little more expensive.
Okay.
And also, I find Toriba to have more difficult machines than Sega Catcher, so that's the thing. But Toriba is also more generous with the daily free plays.
Toriba.
Toriba, yes. And Toriba has exclusive stuff. They have their own little cat mascots, and you can get merch with them. And what on the last package I got from them, they gave me a free clear file.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Yes,
Nice.
the currency of the future, truly.
Yes, I have a lot of those too. Can't wait.
Yep. Yeah.
Works
Check
in
out
the
my big hamster back there. That's yeah, right there.
I see.
Yes.
I see a GameCube box back there,
Yeah, that's a GameCube.
and a PlayStation 3 box too. Okay.
PlayStation 3.
Wow.
My
Why
God.
do you have a
Thanks,
GameCube
Bob.
box? That's great.
I got that at a recycle shop when I was looking for GameCube controllers for Smash on Wii U.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, this has like 2 controllers with it, and it's cheaper
Yep.
than just buying the controllers.
Yep. That was a good strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one that came with the Game Boy Player as well. It was
Oh, damn.
and like I had like 2 or 3 games with it, and it was like for under 4,000 yen. It was a steal.
Shoot. Ty, when you have a minute, James Allen was actually wondering if you could actually link up those sites in the chat for the claw games. He might be interested in trying that. Actually, yeah, just anybody, if you're watching this even live or after the fact, check the chat and maybe even check the description box later too. Maybe I'll add those in there too.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. And Toriba is TOREBA.net, I think. And it's like Sega Catcher is like just SegaCatcher.com.
Okay.
They're quite easy to find. But yeah, so we'll link those in the description later.
Great.
I'll cruise over to the chat and drop it in there.
Okay. Cool. Well, like I said earlier, we do got a lot of news to get through. So let's go ahead and take a quick break with some now playing at thefamicast.com. All right, now playing at famicast.com. As always, you guys know we got a lot of stuff going on our YouTube, our website, Patreon, all sorts of stuff. So we just kind of want to share with you guys what's going on with that. James, do you want to kick things off?
Sure. So yeah, Summer of Streams, as I mentioned in my my new business, it started and it's on pause at the moment, but it will be unpaused soon. So we started with a short hike, and then we went on to Inertial Drift, and then a game called Even the Ocean, which is like a 16-bit platformer. Looks really beautiful. And then we started delving into some garbage. We we went on with Prehistoric Dude, which is a 8-bit. Well, not really, but a very simplified platformer.
Mhm.
And then Ultra Hat Dimension, which is a kind of puzzle game with the most annoying sound effects in the world. So yeah, check those out.
Great.
And the other exciting news. Oh yeah. So you may remember a friend of the show, Ayano Irizuki. We had an interview with her. I can't remember which episode exactly.
Actually, that was last September.
Last September. Wow.
Yeah.
A year ago. Jesus.
Yeah.
So yeah. That was great. That we got that great interview with her. So yeah, you should check that out if you don't know what I'm talking about. But Ayano did something amazing. She actually, she's a model. She's actually, I would call her, she's our official Famicast idol. She's our idol because she got herself a pink Famicast t-shirt. And during one of her photo shoots, which she does, she actually took some pictures out in Akihabara, which is, the most perfect place to take photos, right? for a nerds podcast like us.
Yeah.
So yeah, go and check out the photos on our Twitter, and yeah, I think I might post them on the website as well. So if you want to have a look at those, but there's really nice photos, and she said that we're free to use those photos for whatever we want. So we're going to be using Ayano as our official. Not mascot, but she's our idol. Yeah, she's great, and you should follow her on Twitter. We will put her Twitter in the description for this show. You should follow her. She speaks great English. She actually teaches Japanese, and she's an idol. And she's awesome. So thank you so much, Ayano. That was super cool. Danny,
all right. Well, if you've been paying attention to the YouTube or Twitter or whatever, I've been playing a lot of NBA 2K21. There's a review up on the YouTube about that. I'm working on the written one. I just have to add a couple of T's and dot a few I's. Basically, I just have to add some pictures to the article and then post it live. But other than that, I mentioned on, I think, the last episode of the show about this really cool Smash Brothers gold disc thing that I have. It's just like a movie disc, but and it turns out there's actually a really interesting history behind what actually this disc is. And I made a video about it, basically talking about what's on this disc. It's all based kind of around game tournaments and stuff like that were happening in Japan in the early 2000s. Probably, the stuff that's actually on the video itself is probably the first actual recorded Smash Melee tournament ever. I'd say professionally recorded. So that's a thing. But yeah, there's a lot of goodies. There's these little cool little medals that say I am a limited edition Smash Melee champion. I'm a 2-time champion because I bought both of these things. But anyways, lots of cool stuff in that video. That's going to be going live on Friday. If you guys want to check that out, if you're a patron, you could actually already have access to it. And if you haven't watched it yet, you probably should, because it's pretty cool. And it's a lot of fun just kind of delving into that stuff. So hope you guys enjoy it. But I think that's going to do it for Now Playing at Famicast.com. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on. James, you know what time it is. You might want to unmute your mic.
It's Japanese again. So that's right. One off mic, one on mic.
That's right.
So at the start of Japanese, I'm going to hit everyone with the first part of the code. Here we go. C0BDX5LN. And I'll
Corn Cob Deluxe Lane.
Second half later in the show.
Cool. All right. Well, we had, as most of you out there are aware, last week there was a lot of stuff that went down with Mario and the 30th anniversary and stuff like that. All kind of just out of nowhere. I mean, it's been kind of a pretty bad secret that's just everybody's kind of it's been rumored and stuff. But I think a lot of that stuff that was announced, some of it was actually kind of whoa, really? That's cool. But just yesterday, there was another game that was actually announced, and I want to talk about that before we get into the Mario stuff. And this is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. And does somebody want to just take that first little bit there and kind of read out the deeds?
It's called Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
Thank you.
Oh, you want more? Okay.
Yes.
In Japanese, it's called Zelda Kuso Yakusai no Moku Shiroku.
Excuse me?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I could speak Japanese, and I said exactly the word I wanted to say.
Okay.
This game is set 100 years before the events of Breath of the Wild, and it's going to get a lot of the story beats that were only hinted at in Breath of the Wild, and of course features Warriors-style gameplay, in quotation marks. The Warriors team worked super close with Nintendo on this to capture the look and feel of the world of Breath of the Wild. Yeah, they captured the look and feel of Breath of the Wild, but they certainly brought their frame rate with them, didn't they?
Okay. You mentioned this like on Twitter and stuff. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Even the cutscenes were like, running at like 20 frames a second. It's terrible.
Oh, you're full of shit, James.
They're using the Musou engine, right?
Yeah, but okay. I will say this because looking at what the Musou team did with the Persona 5, Scramble that came out here earlier in Japan, working pretty closely, I'm assuming, with Atlas to nail the look and feel of the world. And not only that, I mean, they put in like RPG elements and stuff like that they sure as hell didn't have to, but they did. I think, looking back at Musou games, Warriors games from like 5 years ago or more, there's been like an evolution in a good way of what they're kind of doing with the gameplay, making stuff that's usually more story based and stuff. And okay, I'm not gonna try to tell you that Persona 5 Scramble, the Warriors Persona 5 game is perfect, because there are some issues. Like, I did a review on it. If you really want to find out like a lot more about it, you should definitely check that out. But generally speaking, like when you're actually controlling the stuff, it feels fine. But like the camera and stuff can be a little bit wonky, even though that there is like a lock-on feature and stuff. But sometimes that you're in tight quarters and it just doesn't feel right. So you take to it yourself, and it's kind of finicky for some of that stuff. But one nice thing that they do in that game, they have different difficulty levels and stuff like that too. You can just change on the fly whenever the hell you want. And the reason they do that is because some people are playing that particular game just because they want to know more about the story. So if you kick it down to baby easy mode, you can just beat the shit out of everybody and just basically, with minimal effort, just learn about the story. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be the same case here, because I think with this, more people are interested in the story here than the actual gameplay.
Isn't the end of this story everyone dying and losing?
Well, have you ever played Breath of the Wild? I mean, everybody knows, but you don't know all of the details going up to there.
But it's funny, isn't it? So I think they said that you're going to fight Calamity Ganon at the end, right? But don't you kind of have to lose if it's a prequel to Breath of the Wild? Yep.
Yeah. What do you want me to say? I mean, dude.
Some people don't like that. I know people who do not like prequels, or for movies, for example, because they know that everyone who's going to die or not going to die, So it's kind of funny to play, a game like that. But I don't know, the character models of the enemies look slightly worse than they do in Breath of the Wild. Well, maybe because they've got more on screen or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that you can play as Zelda.
Well,
right?
Can you? Like that? I don't know if that's actually true.
Really?
I thought the game. I thought you were
well.
joking around, because no, I've seen some hubbub on Twitter, people saying like, "Yo, maybe you can't play Zelda."
I thought some very looked like gameplay.
Yeah, but it could just be NPC type of stuff too. So.
Okay.
But I mean, they are going to be sharing some more information about the game later this month. I think like the 25th or something like that. So,
well, my joke was going to be like, Breath of the Wild 2. Everyone's kind of hoping, praying that Zelda will be playable for the first time ever, because it was kind of teased with Breath of the Wild when it was. Do you remember that thing where people got confused because like Link had long hair and there was like a one shot where it kind of like, is that a boob or is that a muscle? people couldn't work out if that was Link or Zelda.
And it was Link.
And it was Link. It was Muscle. Maybe Aonuma did, take some notes after, that huge backlash. Not really backlash, but just kind of major disappointment. Then they came out with that bullshit reason. Oh, the Triforce has only got 3 sections, and 2 can't be men, and women can't be. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't know what people are complaining about. We have Linkle
bullshit.
for crying out loud.
Anyway, it was bullshit. Whatever reason he gave, anyway, something about the Triforce can't have 2 women in it, or something like that, or something. Anyway,
obviously.
So my thing was going to be like Aonuma is going to say when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, and yet again Zelda is not playable, he's going to go, well, she's not playable in Breath of the Wild 2, but the Hyrule Warriors game that we released last year, she is playable, so why do you play that game? I think I'm just hoping that this is not just a little bone that they're just throwing out there because they know that Zelda will not be playable in next Breath of the Wild game, so they're just kind of like, making a kicking some ass in this prequel.
Yeah. Metal Mike actually sound off here. Psyched for this game. Love the Warriors gameplay. Can't wait to play as champions.
You can play as champions.
Yeah. Cyrus said it best when he was on the show, and I kind of echo his sentiments too. Rip in peace. This game it's like junk food. You're not playing it because it's like super deep combat or anything like that. You're playing it because it's just kind of like mind numbing, and you're just like beating the hell out of enemies, and it's great. And like I said before, with the Persona stuff, it was cool because you're doing that, and there's actually a story on top of this, and that's the case here too. With Hyrule Warriors that came out on Wii U and 3DS, I mean, yeah, there's a story, if you will, but it's weird anime bullshit, So yeah.
By the way, this poster for the Musou game, Zelda is literally right in the center. Whipping up some magic there.
If you remember in, Breath of the Wild, it talks about some of the shit that she was doing, at this time. And it makes sense because she was basically at the center. Link is like her protector, and stuff like that. So
isn't one of the main highlights of Musou that you can play as like hundreds of characters,
Depends on the game, but yeah. Typically you can play as a lot of different characters. So who knows what they're going to throw in there. And, there is going to be a special treasure box edition that's going to be coming out here in Japan. The game is actually going up for pre-order here, like physically, on Friday, the 11th.
Let me guess. Even the basic version is like 9,000 yen.
Oh, it's not cheap, man. But anyways, this treasure box, James Allen, actually, he'd mentioned this, and I'd seen it the other day too, but it comes with like some kind of acrylic art, like a paraglider blanket and some kind of like a charm or something like that, and obviously the game as well. There are no picks for this as of right now, but just in a couple of days, depending on how you're consuming this episode, that might actually already be out there.
And another downside for us in Japan is that the Japanese version is, I'm assuming, Asian languages only.
Well, I double checked on NCL's website because there is a listing for this on their website and also on the Switch eShop and stuff too. But right now it's just showing that Japanese is the only language available. With Hyrule Warriors, the re-release on the Switch, and also a lot of other Koei Tecmo games, they only support Japanese. And like, I think that's an interesting thing because we've talked about this before on the show with things like Dragon Quest as well. Dragon Quest is published here, like Dragon Quest 11 is published here in Japan by Square Enix. Zelda Warriors or Hyrule Warriors is published in Japan by Koei Tecmo. All these things are published elsewhere by Nintendo. So I would like to say the reason is maybe some kind of a rights thing, but at the same time, it's like, how the hell is that even possible? Because it's a Nintendo IP. Not only that, in the Western versions, there is Japanese available. So it's like, what the hell?
But also, isn't it weird saying like only Nintendo localizes it and like Square Enix and others don't? It's like they're international companies as well. I mean, it's weird.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, these companies don't have to worry about guys like us and hurting our feelings because there's only a handful of us out there. Yeah. But I'm really thinking about picking up the treasure box. Maybe I'll take the dip and play it in Japanese. I done that with the original Hyrule Warriors and several other games. So
I played the when they did the Game Trials version of the Fire Emblem one. That was all in Japanese. Yeah.
Yep. Same stuff.
And that had a bad frame rate as well, by the way.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Hey, like I will say, I mean the Persona 5, Warriors game, it actually ran pretty well for the most part. I can't think of anything that. There was some pop-in issues. Okay, but there are some issues. It's not going to be Nintendo quality, but it's going to be good enough, I think. So, Ty, do you like Warriors games at all? Do you give a shit about any of this stuff?
No.
Okay. All right.
I want to give a shout out to Streets of Rage 4, which actually just got an update. If you want a game where you just punch a lot of people nonstop, get that instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, it is the simple pleasures in life.
Cool. All right. Well, shall we move on to the Marios?
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Here we go.
Yes.
By the way, quick question: is it the Mario 35th? Is it the 35th anniversary of Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers coming out? Is it?
That'd be Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario, right? So the first Famicom, I guess.
Yeah. So, Ty, do you want to read that first little bit there?
Sure, why not?
It's actually a lot of shit, but please.
Oh boy, here we go. Again, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, aka Collection in Japan, has been unveiled and is coming out worldwide on September 18th. The collection includes Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, and there are a lot of things to bitch about. Oh, somebody put in a little editorial here in the show notes. Okay, that's nice. Available on both the eShop and at retail until the end of March 2021.
By now,
Nintendo's MO is, kind of manufactured scarcity.
We've talked about, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going with some of the facts here too, and then we can rip into stuff if you really feel the need.
Oh, resolution chat. Here we go. Mario 64 runs at 960 by 720 in both handheld and docked.
Yeah, basically 4x3 720.
Wasn't it running in 4K on emulators with upscale textures and stuff?
We'll get to that. Let's get through what the stuff is. Then we can, feel these apart.
All right. Mario Sunshine runs at big time resolution. We got 1920 by 1080 in docked and 1280 by 720 in handheld. All right, that's a thing. And Mario Galaxy runs what the fuck?
Yep.
Mario Galaxy runs quote up to 1080p in docked and up to 720 in handheld. What do you mean by up to?
Variable resolution scaling.
Really? Only in Galaxy?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Okay.
Maybe it's the cutscenes or something.
Maybe it's blast processing.
Now, I mean, just for this last bit, we talked about this with Xenoblade Definitive Edition that came out earlier this year. I find it really strange that Nintendo has trouble basically releasing a game on their own system and not basically optimizing it or getting it optimized. Like, how the hell does that even happen?
Right.
Especially for a game that's over a decade old. But
do you think this is was rushed out? Are they panicking here? Because a lot of people are complaining, where are the games? Where are the games for the end of 2020?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, 35th anniversary, they can't just pull that out of their. Well, I guess they could, but you know what I mean. I think this is something that they've probably been planning, but maybe they're just having more problems than what they anticipated with getting it ready. Maybe it's just something related with COVID. They just didn't have enough workers to work on stuff. Blah blah blah. I don't know.
Well, let's get the obvious bits out the way.
Okay.
Galaxy, and then end of sentence. Where's the Galaxy 2? That was the biggest. I was just waiting for more in the reveal trailer. I was like, are you seriously only putting Galaxy 1 on there? You do know there are 2 games.
James, I think you're remembering history incorrectly there, sir.
Especially in a game which is what Mario 64. That's what 65 megabytes. Sunshine is what, probably like, well, GameCube DVDs were like 1.5 gigs max, right?
Basically, yeah.
And then Galaxy was what 4.2 gigs max. So it's not like there's running out of storage on these.
Yeah,
it's
and you know,
even
I
if they have the very small Switch cartridges, you know, the 8 gig Switch cartridges, the absolute smallest ones, like even that you could fit Galaxy 2 on it. It's like, come on, man, what's going on here?
You know, I don't want to get like too negative about this stuff because I know it's super easy to do with Nintendo because they're always making some kind of you know, it's always like, you know, one step forward, two steps back type of thing with pretty much almost everything they do, it seems like. And yeah, it is disappointing that they don't have Galaxy 2 here. And I really have no idea why they wouldn't. Maybe they're just trying to go for something that was more iconic and they just figured Galaxy 1 maybe is more iconic. I don't know.
Well, on 2 different podcasts now, I've given reasons why I wouldn't play each one of the 3D Mario games. And when I gave my reasons, I actually included Galaxy 2. I included, you know, 3D Land, 3D World, you know, all of these games which are not part of this package. And, you know, they'll all be separate purchases, you know. Well, 3D World will be. 3D Land is obviously going to be stuck on the 3DS, I think.
Yeah.
Are there any other games that I'm forgetting about here? 3D Mario games. I mean, yeah, Odyssey. I mean, obviously, Odyssey's not going to be on there. Odyssey is it's its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3D World is like, I love Galaxy 2, Galaxy 1, and 3D World, and Mario 64. I mean, they're up there, like my favorite 3D Marios. I absolutely detest Super Mario Sunshine. I think it's a broken, horrible, terrible game. And, you know, they've got like a better resolution, which is, you know, whoop-de-doo, great. But like, if they haven't improved all those terrible glitches and really just unfair, stupid time challenges and like blue coin hunts and all those other really, really frustrating, annoying things. I mean, if they haven't fixed those, I mean, well, why even do this? I mean, I hope to God they have. I mean, I'm not going to be replaying it, but just for the sake, just for the sanity of the people that are going to be doing this, I mean, I hope to God they've fixed some parts of it.
Well, I know for like, okay, I will say I'm excited about this collection, mainly for just the fact that we're going to be able to play like all these cool classic Mario games on the Switch. That's great. I can play it in handheld. I can play it on my TV. I can play it on the same system. That's kick-ass. I like that. I don't have to bust out an old system to play it or my Wii or something, you know.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I bought Super Mario Sunshine when it first came out. I remember enjoying it. I remember, you know, some things were frustrating, but like, I know for myself, if I find something getting frustrating, I will just not play that specific section. Like blue coins, why the hell would I want to put myself through the torture? You know? Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's cool. There's a lot of weird technical things, like you said, you know, like Ty was reading out, you know, from the news, like up to, you know, 1080p, like with Mario Galaxy. It does look, you know, from the trailers and stuff like that, it does look like Galaxy is running at 60 frames a second, though. So maybe that's what they were like trying to go for. But still, at the same time, why the hell isn't this optimized for the Switch? My God, it's a game that's, you know, over a decade old or something, and it's
and then
just so weird.
Then going into like control methods, Sunshine does not work with the GameCube controller, or it won't work with the, you know, the clicking sticks. You know, the Wii does have a GameCube adapter. Galaxy, you have to use the split Joy-Cons and have to use them like Wii pointer style, so you still have to shake to spin. But in the handheld,
you could use the Pro.
The screen.
You could use the Pro.
Yeah, that's the thing that they haven't shown and they haven't explained properly yet. They're kind of like avoiding talking about that, which is quite frustrating because, you know, most people want to just play with the Pro controller. So a lot of people are assuming, they're just guessing because Nintendo are not telling us that it's going to be like Captain Toad. So Danny, do you remember the Switch version of Captain Toad? You kind of tilt the Pro controller.
Yeah.
It's going to be something like that, which is fine. But like if you have to shake the Pro controller to spin instead of just a button, that is going to be a bit annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially because the Chinese, the the Nvidia Shield, was it?
Yeah.
They had a whole bunch of Wii games downloaded, and they fixed Mario Galaxy. They just put the spin onto a button. So they've already patched it. They've already upraised it. They've taken out the stupid shake thing. They've already done it. And then nope, they go back. They go back a step for this version.
Yeah.
Which is just mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling why they would do that.
Yeah. Ty, you've been a little bit quiet.
Yeah.
What do you think about any or all of this?
Gosh, I don't know. I think it's just kind of, milking the fans, as
Sure.
Nintendo likes to do. And I don't know. But like for me, like as an extremely cynical pre-2006 Nintendo fan, yeah, it's kind of a hard sell, like when it's like directly competing with like emulators and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I also feel that like a lot of Nintendo fans, like our age, we're now like parents, and we want to share games like Mario 64 with our kids, and that's probably a pretty big demographic for Nintendo.
Dude, even with the advertising that they have here in Japan, I mean, that's what the commercials are like. The kids are playing during the day, then it's nighttime. Like if you're looking at the screenshot that I have there, it's the dad playing at nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's absolutely true.
Oh, that screenshot just reminded me. It doesn't. Maybe what someone in our Discord pointed out, that it doesn't say "so long, gay Bowser."
Yeah.
It says like, what does it say? Bye bye, something like that. So maybe the
rest in peace, Gabe Bowser.
Oh, and they've got they've got all the soundtracks, full soundtracks on there as well, right?
Yeah,
right.
Which they previously released as incredibly overpriced CDs in the past, so they're all on there now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So, I'm getting this collection because I'm a sucker, and that's just the way it is, and it's the way it's always going to be, and that's fine. I don't care. I'm gonna have fun with it. So
yeah, like I would buy it like when it gets discounted down to $10, but like the limited release like guarantees that's never gonna happen.
Yep, it never will. And I know a lot of people are upset about that, and I totally get it. And it's
the limited release as well. That is just even for the download version, because the server's can't take it for too long.
No, that's obviously not the reason. They just they just want to make it so it's limited. But still, at the same time, I don't understand that. Nintendo's done this a couple of other times. Like there was a Zelda that came out, like a Four Swords that came out on like the DSi or something like that, whereas only available for a limited amount of time, and then it just went away. I mean, obviously, yes. I mean, there's shit like that. The Mario 25th anniversary collection, which I have. The thing with that is, I mean, yes, it is literally just Mario All-Stars on a disc, which is criminal, but it did come with a nice little book and a CD. And it was like $20 or something. So like you could almost kind of forgive that. If you're just a sucker like me and you wanted it, you bought it. So, but
is that in the news, Danny? The Super Mario All-Stars, the 2D All-Stars?
Yeah, might as well get it out of the way now. I put it at the very bottom of the news, but yeah. Super Mario All-Stars, aka Collection, as it's called in Japan. If you're looking at the screenshot too, it says Super Mario 3D Collection. That goes back to the Japanese version. It's called Super Mario Collection.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's All-Stars in the West, Collection in Japan. Nice.
Yeah, I have it. Right here, actually. I have.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That just hit. Boom! That would just hit at the end of the direct, right?
Yeah. So. Super Mario. It says it in Katakana Super Mario Collection. But anyways.
So my thought at the end of this, I don't know if you guys saw my my Twitter poll, but I thought, like, would you rather have 64 like this, Mario 64 like this, or just if they just made a Nintendo 64 online app like they've done with NES and SNES? If they just did an N64 one and then just dropped 12 N64 games and just regular bog standard Mario 64 just appeared on that. I mean, you're not owning it, but it's there and it's free.
Yeah,
I'd be happy with
probably
that.
Play it for a bit.
Yeah, exactly right. It's like you've got Ocarina of Time and 64 and whatever Wave Race and all the other first-party N64 games. There's only like 15 of them or something. But just to have it there on your Switch and to be able
Try
to
some
play them.
speed runs. Let's go.
Yeah, and that would be awesome. I love just being able to play. I mean, the Switch has a lot of cool like N64 up ports and stuff like that, you know. And
Probably still not as many as Xbox.
Well, no, yeah, they don't, which is ridiculous. But it's always cool just to be able to play something like that. You know,
do you think they're going to do that now? Like, do you think because with All Stars being 3D All Stars being limited, maybe when that's finished, maybe they will. That will be the time when they do the N64 app because you know you can't buy 64 anymore. So you know, just do the online thing.
That'd definitely be a strategy that I could see them going with. Maybe this is like a test for their N64 emulation on the Switch to see how it goes. It is kind of disappointing that they couldn't or wouldn't put Mario 64 on widescreen, but
oh really? I thought this. It's part of the direct. It was they were showing widescreen versions.
No,
is it? Oh, that was the game where they didn't.
Yeah, it's 4:3.
But 64 is upgraded though. They do have new textures.
It's 720p. You know, better like clear resolutions and stuff like that. They did fix a lot of like little things, make a lot of like the textures and stuff quite a bit more clear. But,
I think Game explained it a comparison video, and like in the Ghost house, there's that like poster of the ghost on the wall, and it was like, it's night and day how clear it was on the Switch compared to the graininess of the N64 one.
Oh yeah, it's just the way. Yeah, exactly. All right,
so that's nice. Yeah, I'm not spending $60 to play a slightly nicer version of 64.
Sorry. So don't worry about it. Okay. Well, how about we go ahead and move on to the next Mario goodness thing here. And James, do you want to take this little story?
Oh, yeah. Oh, where are we here? Oh, we're not onto the really... Oh, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. Yeah. We're not onto the absolute coolest thing. We're not onto my favorite thing yet, but we're getting there. So Super Mario 3D World, known good game for the Wii U, I agree. One of the best soundtracks of all time, is coming to the Switch as Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, or Fury World as it's known in Japan. That's coming out next year, 2021, just before Valentine's Day, February 12th. And it includes the regular game, of course, the original game, and some new exclusive content. And it has online co-op for the first time ever. And they're also thrown in, well, they're not throwing in, but they're also doing a couple of new amiibos, Cat Mario and Cat Peach, which will all be released on the same day, I assume, or same week. So yeah, for me, 3D World getting re-release, no thanks. I already completed that game, loved it. Online co-op, ooh, interesting. And then new mode, new content, Fury World, slightly interested. But like, again, it's frustratingly close because it's like, do I want to spend $60 on a little bit of extra content and online co-op?
Yeah. And I mean,
really.
Listeners out there have to remember too, and I have to remind myself too every time I talk to James about this stuff. James doesn't like replay games, so like, that would be a tough sell. Like with that,
games that I've 100%ed.
Yeah, okay.
Which, you know, when I talk about Zelda games, when I talk about 3D Mario games, 2D Mario games, these are games which I went ham on, like absolutely destroyed these games. Sure. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I beat Mario 3D World. I thought it was really fun. I really, really liked it. They're going to have to really blow my socks off to make me want to pick this up. I don't. Yep. Online co-op doesn't really interest me because looking at how online co-op stuff has worked with Switch up to this point, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here, but it just...
Mario Maker 2 online co-op works flawlessly,
right?
If both people are in Japan.
Yes. So like that,
we're fine.
Yeah. So that's kind of like whatever.
Yeah. So close. Yeah, because for me, is this in the order that it happened in the direct? I don't know.
No, I think this is just the order I put it in of stuff that I thought was coolest. So actually, a Wild Cyrus has appeared. Co-op with the wife. Sold this for me. Never played the original. Cool.
Well, yeah, you could play couch co-op in the first game, mate. This is online co-op. There isn't. Online co-op is new. Unless you banished your wife to another country. That would be a bit harsh, but yeah, it's going to work.
Never played the original, so I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Ty,
well,
did you? I think I already know the answer to this. Ty, did you ever have any interest in this game?
Not really, no.
you should.
Yeah, I'll put it on my radar.
this is not an easy babies game. This isn't actually, a
right.
3D platformer.
Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
Cyrus brings up a good point too. Actually, I was thinking this when I got this screenshot ready. Side note: that's a screenshot of Cat Mario running has an atrocious ground texture. Yes, it does. It looks pretty bad. But anyways,
cool.
Yep.
The next one I think is probably the thing that I when I thought of it, I thought, okay, this is probably the only thing that Ty is interested in.
Hell yeah.
Yes, I wanted Ty to read this next.
All right.
So
somebody snuck in a pretty good joke here. Anyway, Super Mario Brothers 99, I mean 35. A new new take on Super Mario Brothers and the Battle Royale genre is coming to the Switch. Knew if like you like forgot there was an indie developer made Mario 99 straight up before they got a cease and desist. When was that? Was that earlier this year or last year?
Was it? I don't know.
I think it was last year.
Yeah.
So somebody literally made like Mario 99 and you could like play it in a web browser or with a download or something, and they were ready for the C&D because like as soon as they got it, they like replaced all the characters with like something else.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit more flashy than that game though.
Yeah, but I mean, I get this feeling that Nintendo like is just letting their fans come up with the ideas, send them a cease and desist, and then release it for a lot of money.
Like
right?
the Metroid
upscaled, yeah, and upscaled Mario, and now Mario 99 that is Mario 35. Anyway, the game will be available to Nintendo Switch Online members at no additional cost. So it's just like Tetris 99, except it's not fucking 99, it's 35.
Yeah. And it even has like a little, on Tetris 99, you use the right stick to flick between like who you're sending your garbage to and stuff. Same exact thing is in there too.
Wow. Right. Yeah, that's cool. But were we talking the other day about how this is like going to be like for limited time or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Until March.
Until March. Okay, so my theory is it's just a beta, and they're gonna upgrade it to 99.
They could. Yeah.
All right. Clip this, and we'll play it back in 6 months when I'm right.
All right.
I wish we were on Twitch. We just like clip this, and someone will do it. All right.
But yeah, so I mean, the goal here obviously is to be the last Mario standing.
So what happens when you throw garbage at other people? I know there's like there's an random item generator or something like that. You can get invincibility stars and other stuff. Then what happens? Does it throw extra enemies at the other people, right? Yeah. So then all of a sudden, like a Hammer Brothers will just show up where it normally wouldn't be there.
Exactly. Like if you even look at the the screenshot that we have in the video version, you can see there's some kind of like lighter, kind of like weird colored enemies that are just in the other screen, and stuff, and those are ones that get sent over from other players and stuff. So yeah,
man, that's going to be wild. I mean, Danny, I know Danny and Ty, you're like pros at Mario Brothers 1, so this will be super exciting for you, right? I'm more of a Mario World guy, but
I like Mario. Dude, Mario, like for me, oh man, it's tough. Mario World, Mario 3, those are my two favorite ones. I like the original Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
420 speed runs, esports, LOL.
Yeah,
it should be fun. It should be a good game night game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's coming October 1st too. So I mean, that's coming really soon. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is soon. It's 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. All right. Well, anybody else have anything else to say about that we good?
This was a super positive and very good part of the Direct. Nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
It's not 99.
And it's free. It's ironic, like the best thing in the whole Direct, it's something you don't even have to pay for.
Right.
Wow. You have to pay for Nintendo Switch Online, so I guess you
I
could say.
don't know. I'm really interested in the next thing we have here. It looks fun as hell.
Really? Okay. James, do you want to read that next little bit there?
Oh yes, I guess as the only parent
Yeah.
in the
sense, right?
on the podcast here, this makes a lot of sense. So Mario Kart Live Home Circuit was revealed during the direct, using real life radio controlled, possibly Bluetooth cars. Players control the carts on their Switch in real time with up to 4 players. Home Circuit is set to come out October the 16th. With Mario and Luigi separate versions, retailing at 9,980 yen here, and I think $99 elsewhere.
If you haven't seen this video, you gotta see this video. It's like it's some ARG stuff. It's so good.
So yeah, you get the cart set, you get the download code for the game, which is about it's 1.1 gig. So you don't get a game card. So you get one download of the software. That's it.
Yeah, that part seems dumb. Like, who cares if anybody downloads it? Like, if they don't have if they don't have the $100 fucking Mario Kart, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they can't even use it. So like, why not just let somebody just screw around on the app? I mean,
yeah, that could be a free download for anyone. Because you might have multiple Switches. You want your kids to use their own Switch for this thing, right?
Yeah.
So the battery lasts about an hour and a half on a single charge when playing at 150cc. So I guess it's got different speeds.
Yeah, and there's no other information about like what it does at other CCs, but obviously it'd be better, in terms of battery life. But how much better? I don't know.
But it takes 3.5 hours to charge. So it's like 1.5 hours of fun. And yeah, let's go and play outside for most of the day while it charges again. So
this weather? Hell no.
So maybe play once at lunchtime and then after dinner, I guess, is the next time. The set comes with numbered gates that are used to construct the tracks. They seem to have like some kind of paper, maybe like not QR codes, but some kind of pattern on it, which maybe the camera picks up on.
That's what I think too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different colors or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're kind of black and white, which is a bit unusual. So yeah, it must be some kind of QR code technology. And you can actually dock the Switch and play it in TV mode, so you can see what's going on TV. But Nintendo wants you to play it in handheld. You don't have to. But yeah, it's not written. I didn't actually say it up until now, but the camera is actually on the remote control car.
Right.
So on the Switch, you're looking at your actual living room on the Switch. So it's like a real-time video connection. It's like almost like the Wii U and the Wii U built-in camera thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're gonna see this crack number 1 on Twitch.
Yeah, because you can actually stream it on Twitch because you can dock it, so you can actually stream it. Yeah.
One thing that they said, a way that basically that you get this connected is at least on the Japanese website, it was talking about like you use the camera on the little cart to read some kind of a QR code to get it connected to the Switch.
Oh yeah,
like that.
You have to do one lap. So
okay.
You have to slowly go around and go, gate 1.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Gate 2, gate 3, gate 4, and then it makes the connection, and then it knows what the lap is.
Oh, so I guess that makes sense, because if you just throw it out there randomly, like, how the hell would it know, what you're trying to do? Okay.
And then it can coordinate where the next gate is. But when you're actually looking at the game screen, like, even though the car maybe not actually moving that fast in real life, but like they put lots of like effects on the screen and like shaking and kind of like motion effects, and you can actually see other races and items and other kind of enemies on the Switch screen. So it's kind of like, I guess AR, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Which is, it's really amazing, really cool.
I mean,
people like a preview of what the theme park is going to be like.
Years back, everybody's saying VR, man, that's the thing. I don't think so, because look at it now. Like, VR is so non-inclusive, whereas something like AR, there's a lot more stuff that you can do, and this is just kind of like another example of it. As cool as VR is, I think AR is definitely more useful for stuff like this.
Cyrus, if you're going to make flat tracks, I think as long as you're going under the gate, I don't think it matters where.
True.
Where it is.
I wonder how much. Speaking of like non-flat tracks, though, I wonder how much. You know what I mean? If if it would need to use more juice to try to get up hills or something like that, if that was the case. Or
Yeah,
go
as
over
long as the
carpet.
car can physically get there, I think it should be fine. Well, I'm sure people are going to push it to the limit, so that's going to be
dude.
interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will say that the sets here, at least on the My Nintendo store, are already completely sold out. And they were sold out within just, I think, a day. So,
yeah, that's a pattern on this Direct, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Every single thing is limited, and it's expensive, and it's sold out. And
yeah.
I have a conspiracy theory that Nintendo has a deal with scalpers.
I saw you tweeted about that, didn't you?
I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but when you read my tweet, you're like, holy shit, that actually makes sense. Because Nintendo can make double the profits this way.
Hashtag James is right.
Yep.
The other James in the chat, James Allen, he said, this does look pretty cool, but at $100, probably too steep.
Yeah. 2 kids, $200. Holy shit.
Yeah. They need to, this is from Cyrus, they need to develop F-Zero shield charging panels that you can drive over to recharge the car batteries as you drive.
Yep. It just takes 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it's a really, really long charger. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Next.
Somebody want to take that next one? I'm getting the images and stuff ready.
Game & Watch. That's before my time. Maybe Ty.
Oh yeah, the old man. Game & Watch Super Mario Brothers, a special Mario themed edition of the classic Game & Watch line of handhelds, is set to release worldwide on November 13th. The system features a 2.36-inch screen. It includes Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2. Oh yeah, so you can straight up play Mario on it. That's in full color, right?
Yeah, full color.
So this is like a whole ass GBA, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a DS. It's like a 1DS.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
DS without the top screen.
And you can play Ball, the fucking Game & Watch LCD classic.
Yeah, actually, I have another video. I have a video clip I'm going to try to put up here in just a second. But
yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain this, but like you see the video, it's like, oh, it's that thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can buy this watch with a couple of video games on it for $50.
That's actually way less than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I wonder if it is just like old GBA hardware in there.
It makes you wonder because on the trailer, and somebody else mentioned this too, and I kind of noticed whenever they first showed it, but like showing Mario Brothers running, it looked like there's like some screen tearing and stuff going on. It's like, wow, like I hope this isn't like a bad
emulator.
Yeah, or something. Who knows? They could have. I don't know.
I wonder what system or architecture this is based on. I wonder how much internal storage it has. I want to know what else it can run when the hackers get their hands on it.
Yeah. Like, I think James and I were maybe talking a little bit about this maybe on Twitter, but like maybe this is kind of like, Nintendo kind of dipping their foot in the water to do like, Game Boy Classic or, and hell, I mean, maybe they're just doing this as a Game & Watch Mario. Then maybe they'll do like a Game & Watch because that's like 40 years old or some shit. And then, Game Boy Classic.
Easily run Game Boy games on this, man. This would be amazing. Like a little mini Game Boy. You could play Game Boy Color games as well. It's color screen.
Yeah. It's a really cool little piece of tech, and I'm excited to get my hands on it. So excited that literally 30 minutes after I saw that this was like announced, I went to the My Nintendo Japan store online, pre-ordered it, got it, and now it's completely sold out. So I'm gonna this week I'm gonna hit up a local game shop and see if they have any more, because I kind of want to get one to actually use, and then one just to keep in the box for 2 or 3 decades. And
are there special editions or something, Danny, like a gold one or something?
They're all the same.
They're all the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So the Western ones and Japanese ones are the same as well?
I'm pretty sure they're the same. Maybe, I mean, there could be some kind of a difference with the ROMs or something. Maybe I'm trying to remember if like the Mario Brothers or Mario Brothers 2 has like, more Japanese or less or something like that. And you know what I mean? Like that type
I don't think there's any Japanese in either of those games.
Yeah.
100% English.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. Cool. But yeah, if you guys out there are excited about this too, definitely be sure to sound off and let us know.
I'm more excited about a week after this gets released, and then see what the hackers do with it.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, can it run Doom? I want to play Doom.
Yeah.
Dude, it's basically a GBA. There is a GBA version of Doom. It can
I
do
know.
it. So, which actually I saw like on a local a US version of Doom GBA. I thought about picking it up, but it was like about $80. So like, oh,
Nice.
God.
Yeah, read my Doom 2 on GBA review on Nintendo World Report.
Nice.
Ty, did you see the latest thing that can run Doom?
Is it the pregnancy tester?
Yes.
Yeah. Although I think that's actually just video playback.
Yeah, that's kind of cheating. It's running off a PC, but on a pregnancy test screen.
Yeah. Yeah, but
white pixels.
I saw that thread. I was really excited over running the Bad Apple video, which is another Japanese meme. I don't know if you know about it, but it's basically the equivalent of "Can it run Doom?"
Bad Apple.
Yeah, Bad Apple. It's a Toho song and plus like kind of a 2-color music video, just black and white. And the challenge is to run it on the weirdest device possible. So somebody ran it on the pregnancy tester.
Okay.
And like I've seen this thing run on like weird little spectrograms and all sorts of weird shit. So if you want to go down a Japanese internet meme rabbit hole sometime, look up Bad Apple on YouTube.
Okay. For the rest of the news, I mean, yeah, there was another direct that we missed out on. Jeez, I think that was like literally like maybe a couple of days after we recorded the last episode,
crazy,
3 weeks ago. The partner showcase.
The third or fourth direct that's happened in the last month or so.
Was there anything there, James, that you thought was cool that you wanted to talk about?
Well, yeah, I thought Ty wanted to talk about that new Taiko no Tatsujin game. What was it called? It was like RPG. 2 games in one, right?
Yeah.
Here it is. Rhythmic Adventure Pack.
Okay. Oh yeah. It was like the Taiko no Tatsujin RPG, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like an RPG and just a regular Taiko game.
Yeah. Did you just play the RPG with your drum controller?
Yeah, exactly. So you're fighting enemies, but you're just doing music battles or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And there was World of Tanks Blitz, which is like a free-to-play tanks game that just randomly dropped on Switch.
Yeah.
I'm always excited when new free-to-play games come out because
I just usually don't get excited for free-to-play.
We were talking about this on one of the Discords I was on.
Yeah. Maybe we were talking about it too. Okay, anyways, yeah.
Anyway, the other one was a blast from the past. This is like based on an old Dreamcast game. Do you remember? Is it called
Ready to Rumble Boxing?
Yeah. Oh. The spiritual successor to Ready to Rumble Boxing is coming to Switch. It's called Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions. So it's based on the Rocky franchise, obviously. So you're playing as like all the old Rocky characters.
And the new ones too.
And Creed is the new ones as well. But it looks like that lovely, cartoony, big afros and all that kind of stuff from the Dreamcast game. Fucking love that look, man. Love that. That game is really fun. Even now, it's super, really, really good game. So I'm really happy to see that coming back.
I needed to say something that I totally forgot, but today is the day we're recording. It's 9/9/20.
It's Dreamcast Day, baby.
Dreamcast Day. It came out in Japan in like November 1998. Who the hell knows if the Dreamcast ever came out in Europe? Probably not. James.
99.
Yeah, what a great launch day too, right? I mean, holy shit. Anyways, I just wanted to at least say that. If there wasn't so much news, I probably would have tried to put something together to talk more about it, but didn't happen.
There it is. Yeah. Perfect. Well, you're welcome. I reminded you.
Dreamcast emulation is really picking up. A lot of people are playing Dreamcast games now on emulators.
Yeah, one of my buddies, he sometimes listens to the show, but he put together like a really badass custom Dreamcast that has like Sega Saturn colors. And nice. I think he just installed like a thing where you basically could run the games off like an SD card and stuff like that. It looks pretty badass. Anyways.
Pull out the Bleem emulator as well. Anyone remember?
You play some Metal Gear.
Dude, we had that for, I think, Gran Turismo 2. I think that was a thing.
Who needs a PlayStation, right?
That's wild.
Anyway, Yeah,
I wonder what those guys are doing these days.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to say about that game though, James, the new one is that they didn't show that at all in the Japanese version of the Direct.
Of course not.
There were a couple of things that just didn't show. I mean, I don't know how popular Rocky is here compared to. Well, obviously, it's probably not as popular as compared to the West, but yeah,
it seems to be really well known actually in Japan for some reason. People love Rocky.
Yeah,
Lucky Balboa. I love him.
Yes.
The other one was I thought this would be up Danny's alley. He loves buying a collection of Saga, Final Fantasy Legend. It's like Neo Geo Pocket. Oh, is it Wonder Swan?
No, Game Boy.
Were they all Game Boy games? Okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Legends. I had the cart actually.
3 of those games.
Scott gave me one of the carts. It's in here somewhere.
That's coming out December. Oh, Big Rumble Boxing is coming out next spring.
Yeah.
Taiko no Tatsujin is coming out this winter. World of Tanks is out now. Then the other one was Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. Danny, you got the first one?
Yeah. I
don't
like it that much, really. I know a lot of people out there have really enjoyed it. There's one on the Wii U. There was one on like Japanese Xbox One or something. Ty, is that what it was? Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Super rare.
Oh, yeah. Puyo Puyo Tetris came out on Xbox One in Japan. It was a Japan exclusive.
Yeah.
It's physical only.
Yeah. And it's like I said, it's on it's on Wii U too. And
it's on a lot of systems.
Yeah. By now, yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, the sequel is coming out 8th of December. So not too long to wait, I guess. And then they had a whole bunch of other random kind of minor stuff, like an update on, all those Japanese battle arena games that no one cares about, and the sports games, and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles and all that bullshit. That's out now, isn't it?
Yeah, it was out like basically the next day or the day when they actually had the that Direct.
And they completely fucked up the online and stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like
they really just screwed up Crystal Chronicles.
Australians can't even play it because they put in like the wrong server or some fucking bullshit like that.
Wild.
Yeah.
That game is bad. Why would anybody want to play it?
Right?
Yeah, like I saw some tweets like, "Oh, this game's a masterpiece." It's not. I fucking hate this game so much. Sorry, I just have to get it out of my system. Like, I saw some dudes like just slobbering over it on Twitter, like, "Oh, it's a masterpiece. This game is so amazing." And like, no, it's like bad Gauntlet. It's so fucking bad.
Not had that. Didn't you give it like a 7 though?
No, I gave it like when everybody reviewed it on then Planet GameCube, I think I gave it a 6 out of 10, and that was me being generous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, talking about kind of whack NWR reviews, like John Redden, director of NWR, God bless him. He likes Mario Sunshine, right. So like we kind of like going back and forth with each other, and he linked me up to the list of NWR reviews for Mario Sunshine back in the day, and it got a lot of 10s. Holy shit! Like it got reviewed about 8 times. Most of them were 10s on 9.5s.
Billy Berghammer bought copies for the entire staff because he's a wonderful and generous man.
There was one guy who gave it an 8, and I thought, interesting. I'll read this one. I read it, and he absolutely slammed it. He nailed every point that I hate about the game. He nailed everything. He was like every level looks the same. Why is there no variety? All this fucking bullshit collectibles. Like the camera's broken. He nailed every single point, and then he gave it an 8. It's so weird. And he probably got fucking like taken through the cleaners at the time. Right?
Yeah. Like I thought I was gonna get roasted for giving Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles like 6 out of 10, but yeah, nobody he responded like you're like, no, you're right. Actually,
it's like that. The Star Wars Episode 1. Like when everyone coming out from the first time they saw it, everyone's like, I love it. It's the best movie I've ever seen. Then one guy is like, that was fucking garbage, man. And one guy says it. And then at the time you call him an idiot, but then you look at it, 15 years later and you're like, yeah, that guy knew. That guy knew. And the one guy, NWR, he knew about Mario Sunshine.
Right. But, you got to speak the truth and you'll be recognized in time.
Yeah.
The truth shall set you free.
There it is. There's always one guy on staff. That's right.
There's always one guy on staff. That's right. That's a good. That they should put that like like right at the top, like right on the header of the website.
Right.
Put them on the back of the Danny Bivens t-shirt.
Right.
Right.
All right.
But let's make that the episode of this podcast. There's one guy that's always right.
Why the hell not? Yeah, I think that's gonna pretty much do it for news.
I was going to say it's time for part 2 of the review code.
Okay.
Ooh, let's go.
The second part of the code is VLCP G4 TV. Hey, wasn't
Very
that
large Captain Picard G4 Tech TV.
G4 TV.
G4
that
TV.
channel.
So yeah, redeem that code and tell me what you think about the game. I'm not even going to tell you what the name of the game is. It's fucking hilarious, but you're going to love it.
Oh, it's a surprise garbage bag game.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, for the audio version, this will be replaced with a different game, so don't worry.
But by the way,
Mhm.
I mentioned Among Us earlier. When you play online with your friends, you get like a 4-digit code, and like when you set up a private room, and
Like Jackbox or something.
Yeah, and the letters it gave me were RUDC. And so like I'm trying to tell these guys in voice chat, it's like, okay, it's RUDC. RUDC. It's like, no, I'm here. I'm not disconnected. I'm like, no, it's RU. It's the letters. He's like, what? I'm here.
Just say or
UDT or 2D2.
RUDC.
RUDC.
Love you, Cyrus. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment of the show. James, do we not have a garbage bag? Do you just want to go straight to the feedback?
Yeah, the garbage bag is closed today.
Okay. Because we have one really lengthy email from our good buddy. And well, let's go ahead and actually kick things off, I guess, properly for feedback. If you guys out there have any feedback for us, any comments, questions, or anything like that, definitely feel free to reach out to us. If you have like a long form type of thing that you want to send to us, you definitely can do that. You can email us at thefamicast@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Twitter at @thefamicast. You can hit us up on YouTube, the Famicast, Facebook, all sorts of different ways to do that. And you can have your question or comment read on the air like these guys. So, James, do you want to read this one? Do you want me to take it, or?
Let's give it a shot, shall we?
All right.
So this is from our good friend Jeff Senkuba.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone should know his name by now. He's a legend on this show.
Definitely is.
I love reading these. They're so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's our best fan from Brazil, but he's now in Japan.
Yeah.
And he's been in Japan for maybe 3 years now, I think.
4 years, quite a while.
He says, "Hey guys, how are you? It's been a long time since I last wrote, and he's been very busy with his own podcasts. Yeah, he has so many stories to tell. But today, let's remember how bad it is being a Nintendo fan in Brazil."
Oh boy.
So I remember the first and only time I saw Reggie Fils-Aimé. It was late 2011 in a store event, just for 3DS owners at Sao Paulo. That was probably one of those Street Pass events, right?
Yeah, maybe.
The currency exchange was very good at the 3DS launch, and it was 800 real, which is more than $400 US at the time. Holy shit.
God. Yeah.
Reggie showed up as by surprise, and everyone cheered. He ran with the whole PR bullshit. Brazil is very important for Nintendo, blah, blah, blah. Then he announced Tetris Axis Tournament because Mario Kart wasn't available yet. The winner could win the first red Nintendo 3DS manufactured in Brazil with his autograph on. To be honest, it'd be worth more without his autograph on me. Almost no one knew how to play Tetris, so of course I won. He didn't have time to give me my prize. It could have been anyone who signed the 3DS, but I was happy because I won the 3DS. I didn't care about the rest of it. 2012, 2013 were good years for Nintendo Brazil. They did a lot of events. They were earning a lot of cash, and they launched the Wii U at $829 US.
Oh God, help me!
Jeez.
That's like fucking 4 times what I paid.
Think of the
In my
balls for the
life.
guy that made that choice. Wow.
Then 2014 came. Our economy was in crisis. The dollar was up to 2.5 real. Obviously, my country has a very complicated market because of high taxes, corruption, piracy, etc. Holy shit. But I never see any effort from Nintendo. They don't translate anything, but the system menus and their mobile games, most of the effort was for the Street Pass games, and literally one Switch game. Mario Kart 8 DX. The translation was actually in Portuguese, Portugal Portuguese, which is different from Brazilian Portuguese. But we can understand it. Good enough. They just aim for the super rich. Brazil is more than that. My country is the 3rd biggest market for Netflix, for example, because Netflix has an affordable price here. I'm very curious why Nintendo chose now to come back to Brazil. I mean, we have problems with Corona, and the exchange rate is probably the worst in history. Brazil doesn't currently even have a proper eShop. We can only enter codes. That's like China, isn't it? And the store only has 130 games. Thankfully, a lot of indie games have Portuguese. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So here's the update. The Switch costs 3,000 real, which is $560.
Okay, a little bit better than the Wii U.
Yeah. The Pro Controller costs 469 real, which is $85. Which actually, that's not that much more than it is in America, to be honest.
Yeah. It's a little bit more expensive, but yeah.
And the Joy-Con, I'm assuming the Joy-Con set costs 500 real, which is $90 US. Again, that's not that different.
Yeah.
And the release date is the 18th of September, so next week. Yeah.
Wow.
Switch is going to launch in Brazil. No physical games at all.
The piracy stuff, probably, right?
And the best news of all, old eShop games disappear for a while, and then they come back. 50 real extra. What the fuck are they doing over there? But now he's living in Japan. So he's living in a first world country. It's shown him that games are not cheap, but they are affordable. He would prefer if Nintendo didn't even sell the normal Switch. Maybe just go for the Switch Lite for Brazilians, and then people who have money will just import it. I remember when I was going to 3DS meetups, the 3DS XL was announced. A lot of new people came with regular 3DSs because the price dropped after the XL. So yeah, Brazilians like the cheaper models, I guess. We don't need all of the latest releases. Just give us the old games at a better price. Something like Nintendo Selects. Anyway, I also do a Nintendo podcast, and every time I talk to my listeners, I say, this is for Ty, if you live in Brazil, don't buy Nintendo systems. Give your money to Xbox Game Pass.
Hell yeah.
Because they understand that games are not only for the elite.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys. Sorry for the long email. P.S. I lost Reggie's autograph in the bathtub.
Oh no. Rip. Salute.
Yeah.
It makes sense. As I understand Brazilian law, there's like huge, gigantic ass fuck taxes on foreign goods, or at least foreign electronics. So like being like actually owning game hardware in Brazil is like insanely expensive. And this seems to confirm that. And like he said, Netflix is cheap, so I like imagine it doesn't have that tax on like subscription services. So
yeah, 'cause,
like,
I mean, it would if you just have some kind of a device. You know, I mean, who the hell knows how much like a like an Amazon Fire Stick or something like that would cost there? I'm not sure, but it would probably be cheaper than a Wii U.
Yeah, and
like $1,000, but
yeah.
Streaming
Yeah.
is tricky.
and I can tell you from my experience outside of this podcast that Brazil has like an extremely vibrant gaming community. There's so many Brazilian players online, and they are coming your way in the next Street Fighter 4 match, and boy, are they laggy. And yeah, I know a lot of Brazilian swear words now.
Cool.
Oh, Brazilian Portuguese, yeah.
I
It's
wonder
great.
how much the next Xbox and the PlayStation 5. Holy shit! Is that going to be like what, like $4,500 or something?
Yeah. I mean, I imagine they're going to announce the price any minute now, since the Xbox price got leaked and then confirmed by Microsoft.
The S, yeah, the smaller one too.
Or
yeah,
the
whatever.
mini Xbox or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and the big one. The big one's going to be 499 USD.
Oh, okay. I didn't see
I
that.
don't know if Microsoft actually confirmed that yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay, that's what I kind of thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be pre-ordering and buying it in Japan, so I'm going to let you know how that experience goes.
Yeah,
It's the first Xbox simultaneous launch in Japan.
yeah, I'm interested in the new Xbox tie. Believe it or not, I mentioned this on the show before. I think so. We'll see how it goes. Okay.
I am not.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah.
It looks like a speaker, and it
I
has.
don't want that one. No. I get that.
Yeah, I don't want the S. I don't want like the fucking IH looking fry pan thing.
The S one, it just seemed, just to go on a little bit of a tangent here just for a second, and Ty, I think you probably, really think the same way I do about this too.
Yeah.
But like, why would you want to get something that, yes, it's technically next gen, but it is like, is it even more powerful than like the Xbox One X? I mean, like,
I don't know what it is. Why
they show
if it's just like the Xbox One X, like smaller version, but it can like do something that the other one can't, but it doesn't have a fucking disk drive or anything.
Disk drive. I think it doesn't do as many teraflops or something. But
I mean, like, I got the Xbox One X right here. It's small. It's like PS2 size. Like, it's not even that big.
Holy
shit, is it heavy?
Dense, man. Yeah.
Dense. but it's only 500 gigs, and after they've installed fucking whatever Windows 7 on it,
it's digital only. It's
going to go down to like 400 gigs, and then that's literally like one game, isn't it? You can install on that shit.
Like the biggest game I have on Xbox is like 50, maybe 70 gigs.
I mean, then there's things like Call of Duty, over 100, Red Dead 2.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Those kind of games, like the Halos, the Call of Duties, they're like 200, 300 gig.
But that's and
I
again,
don't think they're that big, but yeah, maybe 100.
Yeah, and again, that's that smaller, budget.
So that's 5 games.
That's the budget, next generation Xbox. I think if people really, I don't know, you can't really judge people. If you're serious about the next generation, you're gonna throw it out. No, man, everybody has a different budget, so people just buy stuff based on that. I understand.
Maybe it's because everything's streaming. You see,
Gross.
You don't need the space. You don't need the space, right, Ty? You just stream everything.
That's
right.
PlayStation.
Yeah. So kill it. No. Yeah. Do not invest in cloud gaming. Do not buy the streaming console. I mean, for me, like, it's a thing that promises like very robust backwards compatibility. So I think you want the one with the disk drive.
Yeah.
And I'll be getting that. I'll be getting the huge fucking Gorilla Monolith, and I am going to put it right here, and I am gonna get my bones, and I am gonna club the rival apes to death on stream.
Best of luck to you.
It's gonna be great.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's go ahead and cut it off here for feedback. There's other stuff that we could talk about, but we'll do that. And again, Jefferson, thank you so much for the email, man. We always appreciate hearing from you.
They're so good. I love them.
Man. It's always great just to hear what's going on. Like, you always have something interesting to say, whether it's about what you're doing here in Japan or just like in this case, all the stuff that's so messed up about.
I really liked hearing about the Reggie story.
Yeah, that's I lost the autograph in the bathtub. That's awesome. Cool.
Don't need it, mate.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for Famicast 181. Before we sign off, we're going to go ahead and give out our Twitter handles. So if you guys want to follow us, you can. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at DannyBiv, DANNYBIV. James?
I'm at Family Complicated. And an extra thing to say thank you to Jeff for. He gave us a little bit of eShop cash. How awesome is that? Thanks so much, man. So yeah, make sure you watch and go back. I think, somebody just said it in the chat. the code is being used. That's right. So the video code has been used, but if you're listening on the audio version, don't worry, that one might still work. So try it.
Cool. Ty.
Oh yeah, Super Cat Drugs on Yield Twitter. What have I been tweeting lately? Probably some things are getting me flagged as a terrorist by the NSA. So yeah, good Twitter account.
Par for the course, yes.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. If you guys are actually watching on YouTube, I hate to be this guy, but please like and subscribe. Now, seriously, throw us some likes.
Smash that like button.
Throw us some likes. If you're listening like on the audio version, think about doing a review for us. It's always appreciated, and we could get some more visibility that way too.
Danny,
Yeah.
tell the people how many subscribers we have.
Oh man, we're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Right now, I think as it stands, though I checked before the show, we're at 910. So tell your friends, tell your grandmas, tell your aunts and uncles, get them to follow Famicast on YouTube. Get us over that hump. Lots of cool stuff too. So, but anyways, boys,
911.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Wow. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for obviously helping out with the show and doing your thing and being awesome. Thank you guys out there for being awesome and joining us live, listening to us after the fact, all that stuff. Appreciate you. Love you. And we will catch you later.
Peace.
Peace. This is the part where we can keep talking because we're still live. Just want to show this little thing here. Later, guys.